Now, we've been down the allotment lots over the last couple of days, so despite the fact it's a sunny day, I thought I'd show you the seeds at here at home. This is my aubergine plant. It's a grafted one. Got it for a bit of a bargain. It was juiced because it was basically pot bound, so I got it for a fraction of the price. You can see it does have some, let's just move that out of the way. It's got some green fly in it, so I'm probably going to have to spray this or something. I'll try and remove them all by hand, but you see there's a flower there, and it's going to be producing an aubergine, which is absolutely fantastic news. These are my courgettes. For some reason they just killed over and died. I don't really know why, to be perfectly honest with you, but they just dropped dead. So I planted some more. You can see them coming up here. Over here we got some beans. These are runner beans. These are runner beans. Those are dwarf French beans. So we'll see which ones of those come up. That you can see they're starting to come up. I've got some more down the allotment. It's pumpkins. These were looking very unhealthy for some reason. I don't know why, but they've perked back up again. What's this one? That's a pumpkin as well. So there's plenty of different stuff there. At the back there we've got our tomato plants. They're almost ready to go into the grow bags, so they're looking alright. The sweetcorn here is starting to grow quite big, so that's desperately got to go in, so that's going to go down in the next couple of days. I'm going to clear the space shortly. Those are some of the, I think, the cauliflower seeds. I completely forgot I planted them. Nothing seemed like it was coming up, and then suddenly those three plants have appeared. Those are one of the cucamelons. It's the only one out of all of them that actually seems like it's surviving, so hopefully that will grow and become a bit bigger. Here we've got our beet root, which again desperately needs to go in, so that's going to have to go down. Here's the cucamelon as well. You can see these are plants I bought, and they're growing quite nicely. They've almost doubled in size in the last couple of days. And then finally over here we've got our tomato plants. These you can see over here, they're starting to flower, which is good news. There's some more flowers coming up at the top there. So we just got to make sure we keep them under control, because they're very easy to lose control of. There's a little tiny one here, and all you've got to do is just look out here, in between the stalk and the branches. You will see, like here, these little side shoots. Now you can pick these off and put them in water. They'll grow roots. There's one there, here. So you can let them grow a bit bigger, pick them off, put them into water, and they'll grow roots, and you have another tomato plant. Or ideally you just want to pinch them out like that, just pull them out and then get rid of them, because they're basically, if you're not going to plant them, just get rid of them, because what they'll do is they'll grow more tomatoes, and you'll end up with a really bushy plant that gets blight and doesn't do very well. Once they get to a certain height, you can pinch the top out. Just here, pinch the top off, stop it growing any taller. Typically in a grow bag I'd let it get to sort of 3 flower sets high and then pinch the top out, but in other ones, if you're in a greenhouse, you might let it go higher. It's entirely up to you. But you can see it's all these are doing nicely. Desperately need to go in. There's some calabrese there, which looks like the slugs have been having a go at. There's some leeks there. That's still a dead rhubarb, and there's a load of lavender that's going to form a hedge. One last thing. This is my bay tree. I'll just turn it on the side. You can see it's about 3 foot tall now, and it's just started. It's just been like a stick, and then this year this growth here has just suddenly come up and it started sending off these side shoots. So I'm going to let it grow probably to about 4 or 5 feet tall, and when it's 4 or 5 feet tall, I'm going to pinch the top off and encourage it to come outwards, and it'll make quite a nice bush for the hedge. But there's one of the cats trying desperately to destroy my seeds again. They do seem to enjoy either sitting on them or running across them. But you can see they've got quite a lot coming up, and just need a little bit of a tidy up. clear off some of the, find all the slugs, make sure I've got all the hiding spots, and then get a load of this planted in, and hopefully we'll get a decent crop out of it all. Now down at the allotment we have our early potatoes. Just zoom out to the hill. They're doing it fantastically well. They're coming up very nicely. Now we're going to have to be careful here. These are blight resistant variety, but blight has hit the allotment again. It seems to crop up every year around about the middle of January. So I'm going to have to be careful and keep an eye on these. But I'm hoping that these will have missed it. And as I said, they are blight resistant. Here's my late potatoes, which, as you will remember, they are quite late. But you can see, if I just go in slightly there, the slight difference in the leaves between this one and this one. This is a red potato, it's red all the way through, and you can see that there is actually a difference in the colouring of the leaves. You can see it has a very purple tinge to it, whereas these ones don't, they're just pure green. So all of these, you can see there, they have a purple tinge to them. So those are coming up very nicely. Over here, along this end row, let's just turn up there you are, all those along there. Those are, I can't remember the name, they were given to me. They're a furry, pink furry, or furry pink or something. They're quite knobbly, but apparently they're quite interesting. So I thought I'd plant a row of those as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows of potatoes, which is should be enough. And there's my sunflowers just in between them there, so that's quite good. So that's looking good. This is not looking so good, still loads of weeds. I've started clearing this. This is going to be a sweetcorn bed. So this is a project for in a minute. We're going to, you can see I've started digging it. I'm going to finish clearing this so I can get the sweetcorn in here. These bags I'm going to move out the way. And we've got some onions coming up nicely here. They've all come up. I brought more onions up with me today. So again, I'm going to clear that patch of scrubland at the back. I'm going to clear that, put some in there. There's some cabbages, which I desperately need to go in the ground. They were given to me by another allotment owner. The New Zealand yam, looking good. It's taken quite nicely, so that'll be a nice crop come the autumn. Finally got the last of the rhubarbs in. There it is there, you can see it's looking quite healthy. Now, I was concerned about this one here. Where's it gone? There it is. I was quite concerned about the health of this one. You can see, if I put the leaf over there, you can see the state of the leaves. I really did think it's not going to make it, but it has. It's pulled through, and you can see there's a leaf coming up. Same with over there, there's a leaf coming up from that one, and this one here, which I just put in yesterday, there's some new growth at the back there. We've got some runner beans there. Yes, I cheated and I bought some, but I've got more coming up at home. We've got collies. Now this was a fruit bed, and you can see there's blackberries, those are gooseberries and goji berries at the back there. But I thought, well, there's a big area here. None of these are going to grow into the full size this year. Okay, that's not going to grow much bigger than that realistically this year. The gooseberries certainly aren't going to increase much in size. So what I've done is I've planted some collies in between them, and that's a good use of the space. So next year, obviously come autumn, these will come up, and next year I can put some more fruits in here and fully utilise the space. Oh, right, here's the stones, and I've got another bucket over there. There's loads and loads of buckets of them, so not sure what I'm going to do with them all yet, but I'm sure I'll find something. Down this end we've had a visit from the digging fairy, and they've very kindly dug this plot, this bed for us, so that's beautiful, and I'm eternally grateful to the digging fairy for that. That's I believe the volunteer from the Duke of Edinburgh's award, so he's done a fantastic job, and I must buy him plenty of beer or something, or I think he's a bit young for that, so buy him some Pepsi or something and say a big thank you. Over here we've got the other bed, this one, which unfortunately is starting to get weedy, so I'm going to have to weed this in a minute and replant all the peas. And we've started doing this, so we'll get some more weed membrane down between these two beds here, and then we can also do down the middle here, and eventually down there, and then we'll have a nice clear space, and this will start to look really quite pleasant. So let's just you can see again these raspberries absolutely everywhere. Look at them, they're just growing like wildfire, unfortunately. So they're going to come up and go into pots just to try and keep them under control, because they're popping up everywhere and they're really getting in the way. The end of the allotment here, I finally cleared all the rubbish, and you can see there's about 3 feet there that isn't in use, so that's again going to get barked, weed membrane down, bark down, and I'm going to plant in here the lavender I have at home, and I have a bay tree as well, which I might well put right just on the corner here as well. And then I've got quite a nice hedge going along here that sort of separates me from the road, if you like. That's an old sandpit, kid's sandpit, and now I've rediscovered it. It's going to get glass or plastic put over the top. I'll put it on one of the beds, and that's going to become a cold frame, which will save me having to keep the seeds at home and get myself in trouble. Okay, so we're just going to wander over to the other allotment, which luckily isn't too far, which is a part of the reason I chose the allotment that was near to me, is so that I didn't have to wander for miles and miles. I know it's very lazy, but when you're in a hurry and tired, it actually makes a huge difference. So you can see a big pile of grass there, still haven't shifted that. There's celery growing up in the middle there, but I've started clearing here where the strawberries are. Unfortunately, a lot of the strawberries have died out, but we're getting it cleared, and it's we're starting to win. So one of the plans for today is to get rid of this pile of compost, finish just clear the odd weed from here. There's a few coming up, just give it a good quick turn over, dig in some of this manure, and then this will become a I'm going to plant my pumpkins along here, so the pumpkins will go down here, and then over here will go courgettes and cucumbers and the like. I've got a butternut squash and a marrow, so all those are going to go over here, and they're going to have a good sort of run at it, if you like. Then more raspberries. There's actually a raspberry on that one, which is fantastic, but they are going to have to move because the pumpkins will swallow those up, so they will get dug up and shifted before the pumpkins get to them. And the pineberry fields, they've just gone crazy. They're putting out runners again, so I've got to get these raised beds built, these planters built for them, and get them in there. And there's some decent looking rhubarb. That's produced fantastic crop this year. I got 6 sticks off it yesterday, and frankly it's getting towards sort of mid-June, so I probably need to pull the rest in the next sort of few days. Rhubarb doesn't like being harvested after June really, but I can't remember whether this is a late or early variety, so I'm just going to pull it and see. And then over there we've got some potatoes that are unwelcome guests, and they will go as well. So that's all looking very good. I'm very grateful the digging fairy arrived last night. I will get on and clear all that. And you can see there, there's strawberries in there. There's some just there. They're starting to ripen up nicely, but there's quite a lot of them. But this was an entire bed of strawberries, so I'm going to have to finish pulling the weeds. Then once I've got the planters, get the strawberries in the planters, and then after that I can dig this bed completely and get all this couch grass out, which will make a big difference. Now, while I remember, let me show you a couple of things. Now, one of the problems we have on this allotment is blight, and you can see here, just on there, it's starting to take hold on some of the potatoes. Now you can see again the leaves are starting to die off there, and again at the back there you can see that starting to go. Blight is a fairly major problem, to be really honest with you, and you need to, if you see blight, you've got to destroy the leaves Do not compost them. Get them into black plastic bags, get them off your allotments, and get them home. Now, if it's late enough in the season, then what you will find is the potatoes are fine underground, and you can just cut the foliage off and leave the rest underground, and then harvest them as you want. Unfortunately, if it's early in the season, if you catch it early enough, you can try spraying it. That will often work. But you've got to catch it very early for the sprays to work. I don't believe the sprays are that cheap either, but it is very, it is a major problem. And you can see here on this one, look at that there, it's decimating the potatoes there, and slowly but surely spreading across this plot. So you've got to be careful, because unfortunately with blight, it will go on to tomatoes, and even sometimes peppers. So you've got to be quite careful with it. It can be a real problem. So keep your eyes open for blight on your potatoes, particularly around this shit time of year. It flourishes in damp, moist conditions. Now, if you rotate your crops properly, then you won't have a problem, or you should have less of a problem. But blight will build up in the soil. It's a soil-borne fungus, so the spores are in the soil. So if you plant your potatoes in the same place year after year, you're going to get blight eventually. Unfortunately, down here we constantly get the blight, and we've had it every year for the last 3 or 4 years. So I would recommend that this, you just cut it down and destroy the leaves. Otherwise, you're going to find that you've got fairly significant problems with them. So that's it for down here now. I need to get on with moving stuff. I'm just going to get the stones out of this bed, and once I've got the stones out of this bed, I'm going to go and weed that one, and then start digging my sweetcorn plot. So quite excited. I'm so very pleased someone's done this for me. It was quite weedy, to be honest with you. So they've done a fantastic job, and you can see just around the edge here, I sprayed with a weed killer. Unfortunately, where the path is, it's very difficult to get the weeds out because they're growing down into the path. So I sprayed with weed killer down here and a little bit along here, which will hopefully just clear the path, and then I know where the boundaries are, and it's going to be a lot easier for me to maintain. So I put boundary markers in, and then I can spray on one side, and it just saves digging up the path and destroying the path, which obviously is a fairly major problem. But it's all looking good. Lots of progress. It's starting to look like a proper allotment now, and I've got a little bit more to get under control, but we are getting there. We're a lot closer than we were. So brilliant news, and I will keep going and update you later on, as I think I'm going to get the pumpkins in tonight, possibly some of the squashes and other stuff as well, if I can. So once I've cleared the space over here, once I've cleared that space where the fork is, and get the sweet corn in, I can put the runners in as well. The leeks, I figure I'll just put down the edges here. There's plenty of space around here where I can grow leeks in this bed, just temporarily for this year. Just utilise the space fully, really. As I said, it's not going to be full. The rhubarb isn't going to go to full size. Full size rhubarb's huge, hence the spacing between the plants here, because I know it grows quite significant size. But this year it won't, because it's the first year, and these plants were quite neglected because they were kept in pots too long. So we're going to get the leeks in here as well. So I better get on with it. That's enough chit chat from me, and I'll get on with all the work I need to do. And leave me a comment, let me know your thoughts and what you're getting up to at your allotment, and I will talk to you on the next one.